All right, guys, here we are to talk about episode 6, season 8 of The Walking Dead.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what do you think about this episode?
I don't know. So, like, I don't think, like, things are happening. It feels more like The Walking Dead than it was feeling like for a while.
It's definitely getting, it's weird to say it's hitting its stride this late in the season.
Well, for a while I had complaints like, what is happening? Why are we here? Like, what's going on or whatever. And now I have, like, complaints that I used to have about the show. Like, why would this character do that? That's a bad idea. Don't do that. What are you doing? You just created yes, maybe you're solving a problem, but you just created it. Like, this is stupid. What is happening? And those to me, like, it's like comforting. It feels more like The Walking Dead now.
So let's jump into the part that I want to talk about the most is the giant speaker truck.
Oh yes.
So I'm
think of the amps, think of the ohms, my friend.
So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That exists, and that would have been the solution to getting all I like that. What did they call it? Like Big Bertha or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh yeah.
And that would have been cool anyway. But certainly when your building is being sieged, that would definitely bring the zombies away.
Yeah.
And that would be a cool technique to assault someone too. It's just to just drive around gathering hordes and then drive it right into the fucking alien.
They literally used that technique where they sent a armored
that Beetle.
It was like I was gonna call it like a sedan, just for context, but a small car with like padlocks and shit welded to it, so you couldn't get in there and turn off the radio, and they just fucking coasted it into the hilltop. I want to say. A couple seasons
But I wonder
ago.
how long they drove around before that, or if that was just the natural amount of zombies that were around the hilltop.
The script dictated that there were zombies, close enough for that to be a problem.
But I think that's cool. I also thought, I was like, oh, this is going to be where all the people are that they're afraid of coming. Oh, because the more people are coming. I'm like, there's 2 people in this fucking building.
Well, and in the intro he says something like, saviors are on their back things, they're dead. We got lookouts outside, and if they so much as open the door, we shoot them. And it felt like this weird backfilling where I'm like, are you listening to my complaints while the season's how did you know what I would say while you were filming the season? Because you were throwing in shit now, right? And because Rick's been taking pictures and talking and doing shit, and he takes a note out of a fucking microwave or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
Who was that from?
How did it get there? And
who could give him information that isn't able to just hand it to him?
Yes.
That would need.
Who's the delivery person?
It.
And Carol's reading a note from Maggie, and Maggie's reading a note from him, and this is all this stuff of I guess they realize oh wait, how would anyone even know how any of the stuff happened? And then you're like, I don't know, the walkie-talkies that they're constantly using or something like that. Fuck. Why are there these notes? Who put the notes there? Shouldn't the delivery person have just been Carol, who could be like, hi, Rick, here's what's going on. Let's go do this part of the mission.
No, a lot of things are strange.
Because Rick was going to do a part of the mission. Last episode, when he scrapped with Daryl, he says, so I'm doing the last part by, so I'm walking, or I'm going to go, he says, I'm still going to do the last part. And he's like, well, and I guess I'm walking. And he goes, yep, and they do this whole thing. So you're like, oh, there's another part to the plan. There's another thing that's going to happen.
When that truck gets away and he plows through it with a garbage truck, or what did he hit him with?
Oh my god!
I cheered, but also I'm like, how would you know to be there? I was I did one of the woo, but I'm like, what the fuck?
No. And
what coincidence is this?
At a certain point with stuff like that, I just have to take what I can get. So whenever there's a moment where I'm like, woo, I kind of do it.
Was there a fence around that compound?
Maybe.
I'm trying to remember how exactly they got in, because Rosita and wait, who was with Rosita? Michonne, that's right.
Yeah, they parked their car and went through the woods because they heard a haunting melody.
Yeah, so a haunting melody that is made to attract zombies didn't seem to attract any zombies.
Well, they hadn't kicked in the bass yet.
Well, understandably, but that treble was still pretty powerful.
They hadn't dropped it. I know.
So I thought that was funny, because I'm picturing it was just an open warehouse, if I remember it correctly. Because they kind of just walk in and drive a car through it, and did it doesn't seem like a whole lot of things. I like that Rosita shot that dude with a fucking rocket launcher. That was interesting.
Oh, that was insane. Okay, so that again, when I say that I have complaints or problems, it isn't even that stuff anymore. If The Walking Dead were still season 2, 3, whatever, 1, whatever, or like even just a better show overall, those things would bother me. Like, you're just shooting a rocket launcher at a person like 10 feet away and he just disappears. Like what
red mist?
What level of television bullshit is this? And like, was the point of that?
That's like a throwback. That's like what like Death Wish and shit would do back in the day. Gotta kill this guy with a rocket launcher because fuck him.
No, it's like a locked down camera, and then they just walk him out, and then they just After Effects in like an explode. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy to me. And like the point of it might have been, I guess, that she should have used the rocket launcher on the truck.
100%.
So like, but she didn't even seem to like, oh no, or like, oh, is it, you know, she didn't say, do you have another one of those? Like, there's nothing happening or whatever.
And there would have definitely had to have been another one. And presumably
right?
she's military trained and would know how to reload it. But that didn't happen, obviously.
And I'm kind of okay with that stuff. I was worried it was going to be like 2 something or other, because like they're both recovering. So I forgot that they were both like wounded. So that's how this opens. Like, well, because you're healing. This
when
is
did
a dumb
Michonne
idea.
get beaten up?
I don't even remember.
Wasn't it during the attack from the trash rat people?
When everything went to shit, when like
so like
Sasha
in that same one, Rick got shot. Yeah. Rick's fine.
Grazed.
Grazed. That's what he says.
He was not grazed.
He got shot directly in the center of the leg.
No, in like the side.
I thought it was his leg.
They show it in the previous whatever things.
Why do I think it was the leg?
Well, because I remember saying like, he needs a new kidney. This is horrible. This is not whatever. And then we're like jumping around a lot, but the whole like grazed thing, and like it was kind of funny and like done in like an okay way. But that's the kind of stuff you would do if it was like a weekly competition where different people made each episode, and they had to like funnily lampshade and like retcon away the fact that he was shot.
Yeah.
Not if that was the plan all along, to have him be shot and have, because exactly what you're saying, like nothing adds up or makes sense. Oxygen
protected by the plot. And then the trash rat people, what the fuck is their plan now? Are they still with Negan? They turn him down. What do they have going on? She's like, I twirl things and make little cabbage art out of fucking wire. Like, what the fuck?
All right, so I have this in like stark. What did I say? She's wearing a bondage smock, making a sculpture, and Rick knocks on the door. She's wearing nothing but some weird fucking smock fucking thing, apron fucking thing, sculpting, because that's what they do all day, because they're all weird. We further confirm that they all talk like cavemen for no reason, and I hate that so much.
I would love just once for that to be addressed. Like
why?
What were they? Were they like an English as second language colony that got attacked and then forgot how to speak the other language?
Your theory is like the best one, is that they're all escaped from like a mental institution or something like that.
They have something.
Because it's literally like Mad Max times or something like that for these people, and it's been the same amount of time as Rick and those people, and like guys like Sadiq or Morgan who've even been on their own, not talking a lot or something like that, and they're fine. Everyone's fine. This has not been established as a thing that can happen.
It's been like 8 years.
Has it? I think it's been like 4 years.
Well, if you count each season as a year, that's the most it could have been.
Yes, exactly.
Is 8 years. And if you look back 8 years ago, were you a savage? Or are you a savage now?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you were just rolling around in shit wearing a loincloth. I don't even know where you got that thing. But this is ridiculous.
To the loin store.
And if they don't ever address it's ridiculous.
I don't like. They've gotten to a point now where I think they almost can't. Because how would you, number one? But even if you could,
flashback.
Like, but it's so fucking. Because like, they're all different ages and races and colors and creeds. It's wonderful. But then like, she talks like that. I could believe that. But then, did she make them all talk like that too? Is this part of their like value system?
They've all been lobotomized,
right? Because like everyone in the kingdom doesn't say "Yes, my lord" or whatever. Jerry's like, "Dude, fuck."
Yeah.
They just talk like themselves, and it just works because it's fine or something like that. And he has a great, quite frankly, because a like lowering tide raises all like peaks for me or something like that. Where I'm like, he has a great backstory as to why he fucking talks like that. Where I was like,
sure,
because I think they both happened in the same season where you're like, why is everyone talking like something? What the fuck is going on with this show? And then like his was explaining, I'm like, okay. And then I thought maybe she just had a weird thing, and like other people only even said one word anyway, so you had plausible deniability. But in this episode, I think if not before, it's concretely put that they all talk like cavemen.
Oh yeah, I've known this for some time.
Yes, I was holding out hope that maybe there was something happening. But fuck,
it's halfway brutal.
So Rick was knocking on on the door, obviously, and this was his plan. So he was taking the Polaroids to show the Junkrats blurry pictures of Negan's ass or something and be like, see, we got him, and now we're on the winning team. You got to come with us. Which, again, why they have him pinned with zombies or all around with all the consigliaries and like Negan in like a location.
I could understand the having to, at least have a thumb on those people because at any minute they could come in and they're the saving grace for Negan's side. Okay. So like. Either you got to get them on your side, or honestly kill them because they've already double-crossed you once. You can't risk it a second time. I would
consider them my enemies, and I would plot like everyone's got guns. We're on the move. We got plans. We got fucking operations happening. That would have been like a part of the operation. All their bikes would have just been melted down into a big puddle.
Now you get them on your side. You say, all right, so the missions we're gonna do here. We'll all wait here, tucked in this nice little zone, and we'll surprise them, and then just blow that fucking little zone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
all right, you guys get in the back of this 18-wheeler, and then you're going to pop out and shoot all the Negan's people. Okay, awesome. Drive off a cliff.
Yeah. No, and then like have him say whatever the fuck. What did she say before she shot him? Like new
jibby dibby.
Like New Deal or like plans change or fucking thing.
Dumb.
He'd be like, plans change, bitch. Do some fucking shit. He'd be like, yeah, and then the guitar riff plays and he spins his revolver thing. Oh, I'm Rick the Man. Eagle noise plays. It'd be fucking awesome. But now he's naked in a shipping container. Like, all right, my plan's working perfectly. Like, I imagine this is somehow going to be like a part of his plan, and it can't be.
No.
And that bothers me so much. Because how is this helping? What is the point of this?
Because where we left off, like in the last episode, so like there's a regrouping happening in the Savior's compound. So like Negan's back in charge. He's about to have a nap, a shower, and some sex or whatever, and then he's gonna get to work. So like something is going to be retooling there. Yeah. We've seen in this episode there's at least one more facility with like there was with some people and like Big Bertha a la fucking radio waves.
Well, they mentioned that like there's been no resupplies and they must have like turned around or something like that or something.
So there are things from other places.
Yeah.
And they have walkie-talkies and other channels, and I don't know how many channels can be monitored by Rick's crew at once. Like, how many walkie-talkies do they even have?
Yeah, they've sort of abstracted that away as if they wouldn't have like a protocol. Like we've been compromised. Go to the other channel, and they go like, oh fuck, what's the other channel? Like, no, I don't know, it's fine.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen.
No,
here.
Stuff's brewing. That's totally fine. I don't mind that. I feel like. So, like, we have a scenario here where, like, the good guys have a different problem than the bad guys have, as they so often do.
Yes.
Because, like, the bad guys are concerned about the workers becoming, like, an opposition to them. And,
yes.
And the good guys are concerned about the workers being hurt and therefore retaliating against them. So the workers are playing this weird triangulated role and everything.
And it's hard to say which way they'll fall. Because if you're the worker, just playing devil's advocate, Rick and his people are the devil. They're killing everybody. Oh, they're monsters. We can't have this.
Yeah, like maybe you were doing all right, and all things considered.
And even if they do think that Negan is bad too, it's like, all right, so what do we do? Have an uprising, get a bunch of us killed to fight Negan, and then have to fight these Rick people? They don't know that. And then there's zombies.
No, I know. Like the world's
really... It's a shitty spot to be in.
The world's really harsh, and if you were just, like, selling bottle caps or whatever in, like, Negan's flea market, you're kind of like, well, this sucks. Every now and then Dwight comes over and just takes something or whatever, and that sucks. But this is a lot better than when I was, like, hiding in, like, the pipe next to the thing, trying not to die every day. And you're like, whatever. I don't know. We didn't really get, like, much of a view into their place.
And we may never get that.
What do you mean?
It might just pick up, and the next time we see them is like something that's already happening.
Oh, God.
I would like, because all the times that I want things, I want more information on this and that and whatever, like, there's nothing. I wouldn't even mind, like, a weird, Stranger Things episode 7 of the fucking people on the island, like, with the women.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
I wouldn't mind just knowing, what are they doing right now?
I hated that episode or those episodes a lot, like originally, but at this moment, I agree with you. I would be totally fine if we just went there for an episode, and maybe they were like, you know what, we should fight, and then at the end they just like started to go or something and just leave us there.
Something.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with Negan's people, because we didn't get that shot of Negan being like, because like you said, like when last we saw him, he was just like, I'm gonna go get a tug and a rub and a snug and a bug in a rug, whatever, and then I'll be back, and we haven't heard him like, but I have a plan. Here's what we're gonna do, motherfuckers, and they took care of that speaker truck, so that's all sort of done.
I would have liked one little, like 5 seconds with Negan, just to say like, and that's the plan, and then the credits go, like, just something so like you can know next week something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, and like honestly, they like to segment stuff, but I feel like there was a tension going on between like Simon and Gavin and what's her name, where like someone fucking ratted us out, and Negan shows up and says, "Yep, someone ratted us out," and then we got Eugene's face and we got Dwight's face, and now Gabe's in the mix, right? There was room to build a little tension and get a little weirdness. Like Negan, like Gabe has to do something, and like Eugene's the guy that does that, and like they're just like, so, and this weird like, fuck, like all those like.
Do you
tension
think there's
things
gonna be
or
a thing
whatever.
where Negan comes in, immediately knows who was the you know, the squealer, but it's not gonna be the right person, and he just kills like, you know, I don't know.
One of the random people,
exactly.
That's probably what you know what will happen. I would like it. I don't know. I would like it if Dwight, because if Dwight doesn't get killed by Negan, then Daryl and or Tara have to kill Dwight anyway, even though now he's helping them. Because that was what they were indicating in the conversation. So they're not going to let that happen. Because that's like a purely like evil thing to do.
Or we get Dwight next episode, and it's Dwight going, I know they're going to think it's me. I have to do this and that and the other thing. And he sabotages them from the inside just because he knows he'll die
and
first.
Helps and stuff. That would be awesome.
Because he's a great character, and to lose him would be a shame.
I know, and I almost think that he has to die or something has to happen to make it so. Because like it kind of caught me off guard when Daryl and Tara were like, you know, because what did she say? You were right not to kill Dwight. He's helped us a lot, but when the time comes, I want to be the one to kill him. Is that what she says? Or
no, Negan.
Or did I misinterpret that?
Didn't she say Negan?
I don't think so.
I thought. Wait. Tara said she wanted to kill Dwight. Yeah, Dwight.
Did I say
No.
Oh.
Well, you said Dwight, and I immediately thought Eugene, and I was like, wait a minute, no, they want to kill Dwight.
They seem okay with Eugene not dying, and which is fun, because Rick was like, I know your name, fuck you. No, so it kind of caught me off guard because I kind of thought that the show was developing Dwight as like a good guy or like a.
Oh no. So everything I just said was skewed. Dwight's gonna die somehow.
Okay.
Eugene is who I said will think they're gonna say, oh no, they're gonna know it's me, and he's gonna do some crazy double cross shit on Negan's ass.
Okay.
That's my thought. To save him, bring him back in the fold, and have no questions of his loyalty.
Yeah, because then we get Eugene back on Team Rick like cleanly, and then we can't have Dwight around because Daryl still wants to like get his vengeance. Oh no, because Dwight totally killed Tara's wife, like right in front of everybody.
No, he's dead.
So he's irredeemable, I guess. Whatever. Even though Negan is irredeemable,
he'll die, but not by their hands. I think he's gonna die in an altruistic like, I'll hold him off. I'll save you.
Just go.
And die.
I'm already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because if Negan because that would be like an awesome scene, but we kind of already had that with that doctor guy, where like everyone get together, and then Negan gives a speech and is like, "You" or something. And you're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So I hope they don't just do that again. I hope it is like you're saying, like a plot where at like the last minute, Dwight's like, "No" or something like that, and he's like, "Now Dwight, what are you doing? Come on, you're my right hand, man." And there's like, "I don't think so," and you're like, "Holy shit! Oh God, Dwight." That's enough for predictions.
That's pretty much all I got in prediction land.
Jesus and the prisoners and Maggie and Gregory.
Yeah, so I do like how that played out. They built a nice little jail cell. They bring them in. They're feeding them their turnips from their backstock area.
That must be miserable to eat a raw turnip.
The idea of giving anyone food, though, is ridiculous. You don't have enough food. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And like, even though they're turnips and no one wants them, eventually you'll be dying and you'll eat them because it's a fucking turnip.
And you would love some turnip stew.
And
soup.
The idea of keeping prisoners in your compound, I never liked that, like, especially when, like, at any moment, and why, the one fucking idiot, the long-haired idiot who's, like, stick-fight idiot, she says immediately before he tries to take a gun, all right, we're not going to tolerate any fucking around, da-da-da-da-da, and he immediately goes for the gun, and she doesn't kill him. I'm like, what are you doing, Maggie? Kill his ass. Set a fucking precedence.
I wish that she had to, but that's, again, like, we're drawing these lines between good guys and bad guys, but it's not very consistent or whatever. Where good guys can
her thought earlier was to kill all of them on principle, and now she won't kill one that tries to kill her.
Even like just to demonstrate, right? And then like
it wouldn't even. It's not even like, and I'm all for that too. Where it's just like, I just got to make a point, bang. But it wouldn't even be that. He tried to take a gun. He has to die.
He has to die.
And I guarantee letting him live is going to be a huge mistake. You're going to see Jesus cry because that guy is going to kill one of their people.
And they're developing that other prisoner guy. I think something's gonna happen with the two, because he even like checks the long-haired dude, and he's trying to get out of his bound. So everyone's hands.
Some of them are redeemable.
So everyone's hands are bound, but not in such a way where I can't undo your hands, right? So this is like the whole thing was insane to me.
Well, that type of situation doesn't exist. Even if my hands are bound behind my back, I can untie yours if we face away from each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where like someone can untie someone else's things, right? So what the fuck's happening? No, but I liked that they put Gregory in the pen, and I liked that.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say before.
I liked that her callback was, you know what, you are right. Like what you said, we can't have wolves among the sheep, which is why you're going in the. Yeah. I was like, oh, awesome.
How he cries like a bitch, though.
Great.
Like, I'm like, oh god, you're making this hard.
It's awesome.
But his people hate him, so they threw him like head first into a pole. They're like, yeah, get in there, Gregory, you bitch.
Motherfucker. No, I love that, and I love him getting his like whatever, just
desserts.
Because he was like prancing around immediately, right? Even for him to be like, yeah, the people that, because I even like wrote it down because I thought it was so perfect, but then the episode like made good on it anyway. Mm-hmm. But he literally says like the people who are not the leaders always think that they know better, and then goes on to explain like how he knows better, like right there, and part of me was like, well, that's really overt. I hope Maggie doesn't like fall for that, but I assume that she will or something like that. But then she didn't, and I was happy.
Yeah. I couldn't believe they let him back in the first place, especially when he showed up with one of the cars of the people that should be back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This scam artist prick should have killed him years ago.
No, and that was a good inversion, too, where, like, they let him in and then smash cut to, like, all the prisoners and his face being like, no, we cannot let these people in.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn it, motherfucker. You're, like, literally, because as they're showing us, some of the saviors are redeemable. I think, to make an effort of, like, Jesus' way is, like, maybe okay or something like that. But even Maggie's like, well, once this is over, though, we have to kill them all. Like, we're just keeping them as bargaining chips, and, like, we'll wait and see. But we can't fucking have these people around.
No, like... But like it kind of also reminds me back to what was that season 2 with the prison, where like it's like no, like one of those prisoners at least became a good member of their crew until he died.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the saviors because I feel like literally anyone, like to ask anyone to like stand up to the saviors so that they can join. Like there's people in on team Negan that are just like, listen, I had to do some like shit, and this happened, and they were like, hey, and I was like, okay, so like fuck, like what was I supposed to do?
You just as easily could have been on team Negan rather than team Rick just by who found you first.
Exactly. So like I would not necessarily take the same approach. Like you're saying, I would have killed the long-haired guy and been like, anyone else have any questions or something like that, and be like, oh shit. But like, I don't know, maybe that's the wrong fuck.
That's the way to do it, and you have.
But then it's like, are we even any better than Negan?
I'm not saying I am better than Negan.
I know, yeah.
I'm just saying I'll be alive and he'll be dead.
The show is saying that like Rick's better than Negan though sometimes.
Sometimes.
So I feel like the point would be like, well, Maggie's like even better than Rick, and she doesn't just kill people. That's what Negan would do. We're gonna keep the long-haired liability in the pen with everyone else, and Rox and Gregory and Chicken Wire, and just be like, yep, fine. And all of this has this cloud hanging above it for me, where like we're in the middle of some sort of military operation, I think, still. Yeah. It's been like a few days maybe, and like, what the fuck's going on?
No, we may never know.
Why are you doing all this now? This is like the worst time to do this.
Just put Daryl in charge, kill everyone, and make it a day.
Daryl's on a tear. Carol and Zeke and all that stuff.
And fucking little kid with a stick. So Zeke just has to get over his shit.
He's being very dramatic, which I think is fine because he's very dramatic.
That's part of his character. But even if like, you fucked up, you just cost a lot of people their lives, if you don't do anything right now, you're going to lose a lot more people.
Yeah.
And you're losing respect, and the respect is the power, and then, he'll never get the money.
He'll never get the trousers. No, it's like he's, you're like adrift or like whatever, and you've just decided to like stop swimming or whatever, or even treading water.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's not a good strategy. You're just going to die now. You have to do at least whatever, right? And maybe you can't make it to the place because the currents are too strong, but you have to figure something out. You can't just sink into the ocean and die. That's very dramatic. I liked how after that long-ass fucking conversation where she's like, you got to be the king that these people need, he's like, I can't, or whatever. And it just ends on that. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Because I I keep being critical of this and like other shows for not being properly cheap with stuff. Like, he'll obviously come back and be the king, I think, but now we get this episode to episode thing of like, oh no, is he not going to be the king? Whereas usually now they introduce a concept and then resolve it in the exact same episode, and they're like, why would you do this to me? There's no tension now, right?
But this is not the kind of tension I want. I don't really care about him.
No, I don't care that
much
much either.
Internal struggles over being the king. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The kingdom has no warriors left.
I was going to say,
like,
who's even left to do anything? And Carol's like, we have to fucking get everyone that can fight and go and do the thing, right? Which will be like Jerry, Carol, Zeke, and like 3 people at this point, right? And they'll be like, all right, guys.
Well, you can arm the women and children if you have to. If you're going to die either way, you got to die fighting.
Agree. I don't know if people have training or whatever, how they do it.
They don't.
There's the whole thing. Because dudes that wear the hockey pads actually like do drills and stuff, and they know how to do stuff.
But they're all dead.
They know how they know how to do stuff, like get shot suddenly or whatever.
They're good at it.
I really liked Jerry has an axe. Yeah,
and that makes sense. Had he brought the blade back with him, they can fix a new thing for it because they are people that do that.
He might just have like a whole closet full of identical axes. I'm still hoping for that. I also really liked just all the interactions with him. The whole well, he told me I didn't even have to do this, but like, this is what I do.
This is what I do.
And I'm like, oh shit, man. And then later when she's like, and you get that fucking like James Cameron shot.
Wait, dude.
The camera's like mounted on the gun. Seemingly, it's this fucking super tight, crazy shot. And then his thing of like,
it's not even locked.
Of like the door's not locked. And then she goes like, okay, fuck, and then goes in there and stuff for the conversation. I liked all that. And the conversation was fine. I've come to expect that sort of thing from this and other shows. I just tune it out though, right? Because like, what'd she say? She said you have to be the king, and he was like, no. Like that's all I remember.
That's the only thing they away from it.
It took like minutes for them to go through. But they deserve that. They need their king. I'm not their king. You're real to me. Like whatever the fuck. I'm just like I don't know.
Stupid bullshit.
Whatever. So people talks too much. That was the other Junkrat thing. Where I'm like, he does talk too much. He should do more shooting and not being dumb. And speaking of being dumb, Carl suddenly finds Sadiq, who's the name of the guy from the other episode.
That was also dumb. Like, why wasn't he like holding the gun the whole time, and then like almost dies, then uses the gun? The amount of risk people take for nothing in this show is often crazy.
It's literally insane this time, though, right? Because he doesn't know this person. That's a bad idea. He somehow found him. That's crazy. That guy is just a crazy person, and he basically says, "I'm a crazy person. No, I sort of count these, and I'm releasing their souls, but it's my mom's thing. It's not really my thing. I'm trying to honor her memory." And you're like, okay, none of that makes any sense in this world, and you're obviously a liability who's going to be making bad choices. It's a miracle you've survived, though, and you seem okay. You seem like you're a new speaking role on the show.
He'll be Gabriel's best friend.
Yeah, it's like you seem like someone who's on the fucking who's like joining the team now, which is what I wanted the show to do, and that's fine. You have to develop characters and get people in there so you can kill off other people because they want to have babies and make movies and stuff like that. Whatever.
But the boy they brought him into the fold. So dumb.
No,
dumb.
And that crazy thing, like you're saying, like again, we talk about the inconsistency of how dangerous, like a zombie is. I do want to say, so during that scene, right, where they're like, "All right, we're in the woods though. Let's kill all these zombies instead of like walking that way. Like, what are we doing? But let's kill all these zombies, right? Don't grab a big long pointy stick. Let's just we got our knives here. We just met. I'm like a grown man, and you're a fucking kid.
You're a child with one eye.
You're a child with one eye and a fancy hat, and like, okay, we both have our knives. Let's go. I just keep but like those zombies actually did feel dangerous. It's just that those same zombies, when like it's Negan and Gabriel, are just like
get him away. Hey, easy there, palm face.
Yeah, exactly. But like this felt like, and I actually got some like fluttery feelings of like I'm watching a horror movie, because like when the zombies are like in the face and stuff like that, that does trigger my like primal like whatevers, and it was nice to have a scene where the zombies felt like dangerous zombies.
Yeah, because too often they're not dangerous at all.
We've had so many, because like for all those awesome badass scenes of like Daryl or like Rick driving past them and like luring them and hurting them and all that stuff, it kind of like diminishes how scary or how dangerous they seem, and especially those like hip check ones that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where they just go like, I don't know, kind of wave my keys over here and then we walk that way and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But this felt like a thing because that's how it would be, right? There's all these noises happening and you like push one guy, but now there's a guy here and you're like, oh fuck.
Well, yeah,
like,
and when you're pinned under the weight of one, you're like, okay, I have to keep his mouth away from him, but the other one's coming. And like, Jesus Christ.
Because like the way he sees the other one come into view, like it was I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like fit in the show anymore because everyone's just like shooting everything and doing whatever.
Yeah.
But so like I'm not even gonna check my notes, but I was like, this is foolish. This is so foolish. Why would we do this? This is the worst way to do this. You have two people, just go like back to back next to a tree and don't go into like the middle of like the group, like have the group on one side of you.
You wonder how people have
rule.
survived as many years by some of the tactics they approach things with.
And like the answer, I guess, is well, he's so badass he can do all this retarded shit and be fine.
No,
but that's not a good answer.
You'd think over years you would have a better set of gear too, like consistent. Like, all right, like Michonne has a sword. That makes so much sense. Where it's like I can kill you from slightly a distance. I'm around and ready.
Swords are great.
When I don't have ammunition with my gun, I have this. Like everyone has like a tiny knife. Where they get so close, and when that's the only way to die, why would you risk it? Like a bat, I'd rather have than a little knife.
No, you need like halberd-style weaponry or something like that. You have to be able to keep stuff. There's I follow on YouTube some like medieval, it's called HEMA, historical European martial art channels.
Okay.
So I'm a weird person. And for Halloween, like a few of them, this year, maybe for the first time, or maybe every year, did like a zombie episode.
Okay.
Where they were showing like, okay, you want like a buckler like this, and you want and they were showing off different ways of like DIYing and doing like hand-to-hand weaponry to be like,
to fight a zombie.
And obviously you want to protect like this area and this area, and he was doing all these different things and showing off how to use different weapons in different ways and making stuff work. But yeah, you've had years. It should be fairly obvious you need the ability to like push zombies away and like a weapon that will not get stuck in one. Like there's basic things, right, that you don't think. You need like a like cone shaped, like go to like the Home Depot or somewhere where they have those like big iron spikes or something like that and use that, something that's cone shaped that would just kind of puncture and never get like stuck or snap or whatever, all these fucking things, right? So you would think that there'd be something, I know, instead of just like a random knife that you'd also use to like
because you'd think machetes would be easy enough to find. Like you've gone across the country, there's all kinds of stores. I understand looting happens, but people also die. They shoot on the ground next to some bodies.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about Michonne's sword is that even if you like miss or don't do like the exact right strike, you're like cutting pieces off, dangerous pieces that can no longer like kill you. So you like if you just cut the zombie's leg off, you can then add some distance behind that.
Sure, you can just sidestep and walk away.
Right, you don't have to be like, oh no, or whatever. And the knife, it's like literally trying to like get the like that's the most dangerous part, and you're fucking bare hand, you're not wearing gloves. Oh, it bothers me so much. But that's nitpick territory, I guess.
And they're constantly stabbing through skulls. I'm like, it's a skull, dude.
Does that not bother you? That's interesting. Okay, good.
Because that's a part like, okay, as the zombie decays, the skull doesn't decay. Like, it's a fucking skull. We see skulls from hundreds of years ago. They've made, like, whole fucking mausoleums out of skulls.
The catacombs is just made of skulls. No, I know, and that's always bothered me. I forget, like, that first happened on the show when like Herschel or somebody was doing something, and I remember thinking like can they just take the knife and kind of like put it into the head? That's really weird. Is there a certain spot you have to do that?
Well, the temple I think you could go right through.
Maybe, I don't know how skulls work.
Isn't there a hole there?
I don't think there's holes.
No.
And like so like, and you might say, so like maybe in like a fantasy world, right? The zombies decaying, like the brains decaying, like like the whole frontal lobe, and like the skull's under pressure because of all the gases. And if you just puncture it a little, it like explodes a little bit. But that's not what happens. And also, if someone's like gurgling and dying and like about to turn, they can still do it then and just stab them directly into the skull. I've never tried that.
It's like those retractable knives. It goes in so easy. Like, all right,
they're just putting it inside of his head, like they're dipping something to have delicious fun sticks. No, I don't know. What the fuck? It's very weird, and I've always thought it was weird, and we've never talked about it. I think. I'm glad we're talking about it now.
It was time.
They should stop doing that. I don't know how else they would easily kill people, but I actually really like the stab up through here to get to like the brainstem. I thought that was a cool
That
move.
works, but I feel like it wouldn't work all the time. Like,
no.
people fuck up shooting themselves through the mouth.
Yeah.
I think you'd fuck up trying to stab someone that's trying to bite you.
Big time. I think like decapitation or like smashing of the head with like a blunt instrument is the way to go. But I'm no doctor. I'm no apocalypto doctorino.
Anything else happen in this episode worth note?
We're basically done. So like Daryl, Tara, Michonne, and Rosita are now together, and they're headed or they're basically at the Savior's compound.
They're at least a couple blocks away.
They're like viewing it through like a scope, and Rick is in a shipping container. presumably naked. I didn't spot any
wishful thinking,
any dungaroos on in there, but he seemed like not to be having a good time. And the queen of the Junkrats drew what looked like an A, some symbol on the shipping container, and it ends there, where you see his fucking eye, his CG eye in the fucking hole, which was just fuck. I hope it was CG. Otherwise, something horrible happened. Something's so wrong with that shot. Never mind. Never mind the nitpicks. But he's in a bad spot. I'm not sure exactly how he's going to get out of it unless this is part of some retarded plan.
All right, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think about this episode. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.